Hi, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of the podcast For the Love of Drama. I'm continuing on my reflections of drama, the shows I've been in, and the shows I have seen back in 2025. So now we come to the Some Voices Choir summer gig. I had some time in between shows this time, so I got bored naturally and started looking around for something else to join for in the interim. And I found this great choir in Wimborne called Some Voices. And we practiced these upbeat tempo songs and poignant songs as well. Trying to remember them off the top of my head. There was a mashup of Vogue and Break My Soul. So Madonna, and can't remember who was the other artist behind that one. That was one of them. And there was Ordinary by Alex Warren and Fix You by Coldplay. Lifting Love, Your Love is Lifting Me Higher. There was lots. There was about 8 songs, I believe. And we had the opportunity to sing them at a gig in the summer. It was called what was it called? The Summer Camp Out, and it was at Pilford Farm near Wimborne in Dorset. And Matt was the choir leader, and he's quite an artist in the way that he conducts us. And one of the songs I can't remember which one it was, but he was my brother who was watching in the audience was fascinated by him. He's got some really good moves, really, really fluid moves. And there was one bit where he was like a magician. So we were sort of one half sung one bit, one half sung the other. So it was going like this and like that. And yeah, you had to be there. It was very entertaining. The next one is a play I went to see with my friend Linda in September. It was at the Poole Lighthouse, and the play was Little Women, with guest starred or featured Belinda Lang, who played Aunt March, and the acting. Oh my gosh, the acting from the cast was phenomenal. It was top notch. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. It just had that level of energy that was right up here for the whole show. There was a few bits of singing in it, and the acting, the interaction between the actors, and the whole package, the lighting, the sound was incredible. And I particularly was impressed with the way the scenery changed. Things like Joe's desk in the story, that stayed no matter what scene it was, whether it was a cold outside by the lake where Amy falls through the ice into the water below. Joe's desk was there and Beth's piano was still there, but you didn't notice that because you were focusing so much on what was happening in that particular scene. And the few props they had, like maybe like the bookcases to represent the library in Boston, I think it was, when Joe went to have some time away from home, it was moved sometimes by the characters themselves as they left the stage at the end of their scene. Incredible, brilliant story. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. And at the end of September, I went to see the 39 Steps in the Tivoli in Wimborne with my brother. This is a very famous story written by John Buchan, and it's about a man that gets drawn into the world of spies. It is played by four actors, and between them they play over 100 parts. The man that does the lead gosh, I can't remember his name now. Something like Andrew Hannay. He was brilliant. He played himself. He played that one character all the way through, and they had a woman playing the other female parts, and two guys that were playing all the other parts. Like it could be a policeman or a train, a man at the train, a guard at the train station. Incredible and so funny. Just one of the cleverest shows I've seen, and certainly one of the most impressive. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest that you look it up and read a bit more about it, get a bit more detail about it, and go and see it if you get the chance. Again, brilliant energy from start to finish. Fantastic. And that takes us to October, where we performed Murder in the House of Horrors. This was directed by Nicole Forbes Marshall. Lots of different characters, plenty that were suspects in the murder, and so many lines for a lot of us to learn. In this one, I played D.I. Danny Morrows. I had the most lines, and it was a challenging role, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole process, from all the rehearsals and learning the lines. And with the director, Nicole Forbes Marshall, I learnt a hell of a lot. And I will be forever grateful that I got the chance to do that role. The next one was at Shaftesbury Arts Centre. I took my mum to see this one. The Music and Drama Youth Group performance of Annie the Musical. Now, anybody that's familiar with Annie knows it's a very sweet tale of a kid from New York who grew up in an orphanage. A sweet red-headed girl that sings Tomorrow and various other songs. And the lady in charge of the orphanage is Miss Hannigan, played by a young girl about 13 years old. And she was incredible, as they all were. Brilliant singing, again, brilliant energy, brilliant pace the whole way through. Just kept you entertained all the way through. Another great one. That takes us to the Nativity Stained Glass Window play that was performed on the 14th of December last year. And that was another one I was in and enjoyed. I played the children's nurse. Briefly, it's a story about Meg, a poor girl selling matches, no home, and the only friend in the world she has is her little puppy Toby. And a kind lady, she gets passed by so many people who will not buy her matches, and this kind lady with two children walks up me and invite her, buy her matches and invite her to come into the church. And we performed some of this play outside Stommitstown Newton Church and the rest of it inside, where we had a stained glass window, well, people pretending to be figures in a stained glass window and would come to life with each part of the story. That was brilliant. And we did it 5 times that day. It was exhausting, but it was worth it. So, very briefly, that takes me up to the end, really. We had a fun evening on the 3rd of January, a SNADS party, and several awards were given out for people, the actors, and that. I myself received a Chairman's Choice Award, which I was really chuffed with. And now we're working on Panto, Mother Goose, which is in February, which I will tell you all about that in the future. Now I'm going to have to rush to finish because I'm coming up to the 10 minutes. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.